What is up, guys? Zan from the Zan Madden YouTube channel. In today's video, we're going to show you guys a cover 3 torching mini scheme out of the West Coast weak close formation. But before we do that, please do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button. Also, make sure you guys hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of the free uploads daily here on the Zan Madden YouTube channel. If you guys want to watch me play Madden 20 live, you guys can find me on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Zan Madden. The link is below in the description, and I do have exclusive sub-only content for my Twitch Prime and Tier 1 subscribers. My Tier 2 subscribers will receive my full Washington Redskins Hot Route Master offense on top of those sub tips that go out each and every Friday. You guys can find me daily on the channel at 2 p.m. Central Time. Now, if you're watching this today, May the 14th, I will be live at 5 p.m. Central Time. Okay, guys, without further ado, let's get into today's video. We're going to be talking about the weak close formation in the West Coast offense. Now, this is a formation that does have 2 running backs and a tight end on the field. So this will mesh really well with the near close flex and also the far tight slots formation. Those are 2 very, very popular under center formations in the West Coast playbook. A lot of players are running the near close flex in particular. And we do have defense for those available for our subs on my Twitch channel. Absolute shutdown near close flex defense. I know that's one of the more frustrating formations to face, and we absolutely have it shut down. So if you guys want to check it out, it is again on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Zan Madden. Okay, let's get into the video though. So we're going to be taking a look at 2 plays in particular. One is going to be the PA boot left, and the other one is going to be the PA boot slide. Now, these are 1-play scores against cover 3 to both sides of the field. Both sides of the field. So I will say with this video, when it comes to the play PA boot slide, you would have better success with a slot apprentice. Now, I say that because it's a buzzword. For some reason, lately, I've been getting a lot of people that have been complaining when I do a tip that involves a hot route master, not necessarily a hot route master, but you know, if I use a hot route master and Brady on a video, but I just hot route a slot receiver, that's the same as using a slot apprentice. Or if I use Brady to hot route a tight end, that's the same as a tight end apprentice. Or if I use Brady to hot route an outside receiver, that's the same as using an outside receiver apprentice. So even though I'm using Brady in those videos, we still get people every day that's like, oh, if you do a hot route master tip, that doesn't help anybody. It's like, well, one, that's not true. A lot of the best quarterbacks in MUT do have hot route master as it pertains to golden tickets. But if you don't want to use a hot route master, you can still use a mobile quarterback with slot apprentice. And then for those of you that are out there and you're just playing with like your favorite team in regs, and you complain time and time again when I do videos that involve abilities that aren't on your favorite teams, like, I do apologize, but this tip is more geared to, or the channel in general is geared to helping players of all backgrounds, not just players that play with just their favorite regs team and kind of limit themselves in the way that they play Madden. Unfortunately, abilities are the way the game is played. And, you know, I can't ignore that here on the channel. So I want to get off that little soapbox first here. Let's go ahead and get into the video. First play we're going to be running is PA boot left. With this play, you want the yellow route to the wide side of the field, and you want a burner at that spot. This is going to be a 1-play score against cover 3. So we'll go ahead and show this to you here. All you have to do to make this play work is quite literally smart route the B receiver. You'll notice that there's a little notch in his streak. It's kind of a fade route, and notches up at about 10 yards. And the crossing route on this play to lock it will pull down the outside player that is above and outside of Metcalf, and you're going to be able to throw this ball off the play action boot. Escape artists are preferred on this tip, but you see how it just kind of widens him out, pulls him down, and that's going to allow you to throw this ball over the top. Now, Russell Wilson doesn't have the biggest arm in the game, so, you know, obviously he underthrew that just a little bit, but, you know, for most of you that play MUT, or if you're playing CFM and developing a quarterback, assuredly you would want higher throw power to make this throw pretty consistent. You see how he widens out. Right there, I threw that ball terribly. I didn't throw an outside pass lead. I threw up on accident. But you're going to be throwing up and outside on this throw, and you're going to want as much throw power as possible. Again, all you have to really do on this play is just smart route the B receiver, play action boot, roll out, wait for him to kind of flinch and bite down, throw an outside pass lead, click on, and try to rat catch that in stride. You saw right there I had to click on and stop, and then try to rat catch it, so that way I was running forward for the 1-play score, just because Russ didn't really have the arm to make that throw consistently. Again, though, guys, if you have that 96, 97, 98, 99 throw power, you're going to be able to pretty consistently make this throw. You see how I kind of slow down a little bit and then speed back up and rat catch it. That's how you get away with it if you have a lesser arm quarterback. That way you're not coming back to the ball and getting a 2-man catch tackle drop animation. So that's something that you should definitely be trying to do if you don't have a big arm quarterback. Another thing you can do, does lead to dice roll inaccurates, is throw high balls. If you want to add extra distance to your throw a high ball just by holding the left bumper, and it helps add distance, but it also doesn't really give you precision. So just kind of be careful. High balling high and outside doesn't really give you the pass lead that you might be looking for, but you should be able to, at least kind of throw that ball a little bit further, but again, it doesn't lead him nearly as far outside. So honestly, I'd just rather throw the up and outside lead and just deal with it, do a little click on and try to, catch it in stride. Another thing, I think that carrying out the play fake does help on this play, just in general. You see right there, that's without the high ball, how you put it in a completely different spot outside the red line, which is really important. So let's go ahead and get into the other play, which is the PA boot slide. Now, PA boot slide, I like better if you run it with the tight end on the wide side, not the receiver opposite the tight end on the wide side. Now, the difference with this play is why I talked about the slot apprentice. With this play, it's the same effect if you run it this way. But the problem is that the crossing route to Metcalf, you notice that it flattens out as it crosses the field, whereas on the other play, Lockett's route continues to glide upfield, which is going to help pull down that outside third better. So that's why a slot apprentice is probably better when it comes to running this particular play, because you're going to smart route the X receiver and get his notch and his fade up to 10 yards. But Metcalf on his route doesn't pull down that outside third a ton. He will flinch. You see how he kind of flinches, and that might be enough to kind of sneak the throw behind for a rat catch. But you see right there, they could easily click on and get back into that play if they wanted. Not to say that this play won't work. It's just that it's going to be better, as is Madden in general, when you add an ability like a slot apprentice. You could use a crossing route in the slot apprentice. I would prefer to use the post route. So if you get a slot apprentice where DK Metcalf is and use that post route, that'd be very, very much preferred. So again, here's that PA boot. He's going to flinch right there, and you're going to try to throw that ball. I actually pressed the wrong button. I pressed B, meant to press X right there, and throw that ball over the top. Let's go ahead and do that again here. So again, the play is PA boot slide, smart route the X receiver, play action fake, roll out, and you're going to wait for him to flinch, and then you're going to try to throw that ball over the top and try to rack behind him. So that is how you have a little two-way one-play score out of the same formation. Now, if you were to run this on the short side of the field, with PA boot slide, the problem with this is that you will struggle to get that outside third to bite down. So if you take a look here, we try to run this, he does not bite down at all. So you have to throw it away. So what you have to do to make this work is you really need to find a way to hold or pull down that player. So my advice on this is if you're on one hash, you go ahead and run the regular play, this play. And if you're on the other hash, you audible into the other. So that way you constantly can beat cover 3 from either hash just by having one in your audibles or both in your audibles if you don't want to come out in this. So can you see right here, it's pretty easy. I mean, this is your cover 3 bomb to this side. You're able to throw that easy over the top for that one play score. Whereas if you're on the other hash, you'd audible into the other play, preferably have a slot apprentice there and go to work there. Now, I do want to add in one more play here. We want to add in one more play, and that is going to be bench switch. And what we're going to do here on this play is we're going to put the X receiver on a streak, and we're going to motion him across the formation. This is a super, super easy bomb against cover 3. You might streak the backside tight end as well to hold the safety in center field. But what you're looking for on this play is kind of to roll out, pull down, and then throw the outside pass lead to X over the top. This formation absolutely destroys cover 3. Absolutely destroys cover 3. I know this is a problematic defense for a lot of players out there. They complain about so many mutt players with great players on the field, cover 3 sky, and they just kind of don't even do anything. They just sit in the middle of the field with their linebacker, and they occasionally blitz everyone. This is a great way to attack those cover 3 players. Now, there is one more play, mesh. Mesh, in my opinion, just really isn't it. You could run a setup like this if you wanted to try to kind of mimic the rollout one play score, but you're looking at your tight end on this play, a little bit slower, not quite the guy that you're wanting for this play, and he kind of runs in a bad spot on the field. So you see how tough that can be. Rollout corner gets bagged by cover 3 here. So mesh really doesn't work the same way. I just wanted to kind of throw that in there. Not at all the same option, but I do like this little setup. If you run the play mesh, don't be afraid to run mesh like a mesh post setup. One thing that you can do is kind of like swing the running back out to the flat and then, or the fullback out to the flat, and then kind of motion across this post, snap it, and then, you know, throw this ball, those diving or falling down post animations in the middle of the field. So you can use that same motion that you use in the play bench switch in the play mesh to allow you to better, you know, attack the middle of the field. Not everything has to be a rollout bomb over the top to the outside. This is something that gives you, you know, your mesh concept underneath for checkdowns, and then you've got this post route in the middle of the field that you can throw to keep your opponent honest in the middle of the field as well. So just having something that mimics that that particular motion that you use for the one play score in the play bench switch that attacks the middle of the field can help keep your opponent honest. Now, there is one last thing here in this little weak close mini scheme. A lot of players love to have their primary ball carrier in this offense be their running back. So you go ahead and put, you know, a running back at this spot, like, you know, for the Seahawks, maybe Marshawn Lynch or whatever. But, you know, you have the ability to run the fullback dive out of the set. Now, the fullback dive is probably not my favorite run in the world, but you do have the ability, like I said, to audible into, you know, the near close flex as well. So, you know, you've got fullback dive in that audible as well. So having a good player at that spot can be big for you, just because you might want to audible into something else. You can go ahead and use motion here if you'd like as well. Kind of give you a little bit of a motion blocker, run these fullback insides. This fullback dive, not great, but it is something you can occasionally hit to keep your opponent honest. They do have a halfback gut and an inside zone in this set, but you also have the ability, like I said, to audible straight into the near close flex. And, you know, now all of a sudden you're giving the ball to Marshawn Lynch on this, and you're working upfield with blockers. So that run is actually a good one. So just the fact that you can ease into the near close flex, the far tight slot, and run this weak close little mini scheme that I'm showing here is going to add some depth to that West Coast offense. Now, again, guys, if you struggle with stopping the two-back West Coast offense, I highly, highly, highly encourage you to sub to my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/ZanMadden. I mean, we upload here for free every single day, but I know a lot of you guys struggle. I do have some more advanced, comprehensive defenses for these meta schemes that you run into. I try to post offensive tips, generic defensive tips here on the channel. When it comes to defensive schemes that counter specific offenses in particular, that is where you find it, is on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/ZanMadden. Sub tips go out every single Friday. We've done topics like how to stop bunch, how to stop split close, how to stop tight offset tight end, how to stop near close flex, how do I stop trips and ace slot formations out of the 3-4 bear, out of creating coverage defenses out of 3-3-5 wide using package subs, different zone coverage rules, run defensive seminars, things like that. If you guys are looking for that content, that is where you can find it, twitch.tv/ZanMadden. Also, just seeing it live in action. You know, I'm here on the YouTube channel, but I'm also live every day playing the game. So you guys can actually see me play the game and use a lot of these tips. Everything I put on the channel, whether it's YouTube or on Twitch, is something that I actually run in game, and I show that out there live every single day on the channel. So again, you guys can catch me most days at 2 p.m. If you're watching it today, May the 14th, I'll be live at 5 p.m. Central Time. So I appreciate everybody watching the video. We'll see you guys tomorrow with our next upload. Until then, this is Zan. Get in the lab and good luck.